Hey there, everyone. This is Shane. We're hoping that this is working. It's my first live stream with Let's Get Real with 520 East Branch. This is my 2021 goal to do a live stream. So I'm excited. I know there have been a lot of memes floating around out there that are saying that none of us should claim 2021 as our own, that we should walk in quietly and not touch anything. And that's just not really how we're going to do this here at 520 East Brands. We are going to come in loudly. We're starting with our brand new live stream called Let's Get Real. So bear with me. This is very real. It's my first time doing this, and I'm excited about it. So I hope you have a good time. First, I want to give a shout out to Jason Falls, who has been my mentor since 2008, whether he knows that or not. Fun fact, I first met Jason on Twitter and then later learned that he lived here. I really thought he lived in Silicon Valley or something. And over the years, we've gotten to work together. And he is the one that told me about Switcher Studio. I watched his live stream and learned all about this and seemed easy enough. So I thought, all right, I'll give it a shot. And he's kind of been coaching me through this. So thank you, Jason. So as we go, if you know of someone who would make a great guest for this show, we're going to be talking about content marketing strategies, best practices in social media. Let me know. You can find me on my website, 520eastbrands.com, or you can tweet me at 520eastbrands. So definitely looking to book some guests. So we're excited for that. Okay, so in an effort to keep things real, I want to talk about how our team keeps a human persona behind the keyboard and uses social media to create voices that resonate with our communities. And of course, through all of this, I'm going to bring on lots of guests. So in my first episode, I am bringing on our intern because she is not allowed to make fun of me if I screw this up. Um, so our intern is my daughter, Jenna. Jenna knows a lot about social media, not only as a user and consumer of content, but also as a producer. A couple of years ago, the principal of our school noticed that she had a lot of video equipment and brought her onto the video club as a freshman. And she eventually took over that club for a graduating senior and has produced multiple videos on behalf of the school. And they've shared those on Instagram. She even talked the principal into buying a really good camera so she could use it. As a sophomore, she was elected by delegates of her high school youth group to be the co-chair of marketing for her region, which includes Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. And as I began to watch the Instagram account for that group, I could see that her skills, first of all, have surpassed mine and have been sharpened, and her sense of strategy and timing was spot on, not to mention her branding and messaging. So I'm a pretty proud mom. And today I'm really excited to introduce you to Jenna.
Hey everyone.
Hi. I'm trying to get
Hi.
us both on there if I can figure out how to do it. Okay, remember, you're not allowed to make fun of me.
Maybe.
There we go. Okay, finally figured that off. Um, so I'm glad to have you here. Does my hair look okay?
Yeah, looks good. She
Okay,
just got
good.
highlights like a week ago.
Yeah, we both got our hair highlighted recently. So one thing that's been really beneficial having Jenna as an intern for our company is that we're able to talk with our clients about that future demographic, the next generation that's coming up of consumers and customers. So when we're talking about our current demographic, we might be talking about people in their 30s or 40s, depending on who we're talking to. But we don't want to forget that there's another generation of buyers coming up. And so how they consume social media is different, and we're able to bounce those ideas off Jenna. So, Jenna, we're going to ask you a few questions today. So, as a consumer, when you're scrolling through social, what are the go to apps that you go to?
Definitely Instagram for whenever I need to see something cool for like a brand or just to see what my friends post. Snapchat is a big one. It's how I communicate with all of my friends. And TikTok is a big one. And occasionally I use Twitter, but mostly just my top three: Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Definitely.
So, would you say that you are using social more from your phone, more mobilely than from a desktop?
100%. Literally the only time I go on socials on my computer is during school when I can't have my phone.
Aha. Okay. So when you get up in the morning, now that I have given in and you have your phone upstairs, what's the first app that you look at in the morning?
Snapchat, because I like
Snapchat.
to see everyone who snapped me that night so that I can like talk to them in the morning. So yeah.
Okay. All right. That sounds like a good plan. So do you use some of your apps more for talking to friends and some more for engaging with brands, or is it kind of just all mixed up together?
Usually, since I've been like able to work with a few brands recently, I've been using Instagram if I'm not like emailing them and we
Hmm.
like DM back and forth. It's also where more brands like post because like the posts stay versus Snapchats are like just a 24-hour long, like you see it once and then it's gone.
Okay.
So, but I definitely communicate with my friends a whole lot more on Snapchat. But yes, like Instagram's more brand related or like posting, and then like Snapchat's just like talking to my friends and like occasionally a post here or there. So, yeah.
Okay. So I know that you're into videos. I know that you've consistently tried to teach me how to do TikToks, which I'm terrible at. Which do you think is going to win out in the end? Do you think Instagram Reels is going to somehow take hold, or do you think TikTok is going to win out?
I think honestly, Instagram Reels is just a big copy of TikTok. And because TikTok got us all through quarantine and it's like been like essential to like my generation to keep us entertained, I think TikTok's eventually gonna like win in the end. It's definitely been blowing up over the past year and blew up a whole lot more over quarantine and earlier in the whole corona phase. But I think that Instagram Reels is just trying to be like TikTok and like Snapchat, and they just bring everything to one big platform. But I think like TikTok is just it's just more common and more people use it. I don't really use Instagram Reels.
Okay. All right. And so when you're posting, and I know you do a lot of posting for your youth group, do you take into account hashtags? Are those important when you're posting, or what about when you're searching just to see what's out there on Instagram? How important are hashtags?
For my age, personally, I don't really use hashtags in any of my posts,
Okay.
but I know if I'm looking up like a brand or I'm looking up something specific, then I like to be able to use the hashtag to find like ideas. And like if I'm like looking to like for a picture that I want to take on my Instagram, I can look up like hashtag like a teen aesthetic or something, and then a whole bunch of photos will pop up. So I think they're more helpful to generate ideas and get more people to your brand versus like people personally using them. I think they're more effective for brands.
Okay. And do you follow any hashtags?
I personally don't, but
Okay.
yeah.
Because I follow all the dog hashtags.
And the Olivia hashtag.
And the Peloton hashtags. Yes, that's very true. Um, so if you had to guess, at 16 years old, almost 17, you're looking toward the future. What do you think social media marketing will look like in 5 years? Do you think it will change? Do you think it's going to kind of be the same sort of platforms that we have now, or what do you think will look different?
I think you never know. I think like there are sometimes when so you can think that social media will stay the same, but the cool thing about like this industry is that it's always changing and always evolving. Like for example, TikTok has definitely blown up recently and people didn't use that app before and now it's one of my most used apps. So I think there's
Hmm.
some parts that will definitely stay the same, like posting and Snapchatting your friends, but also at the same time there could be like a cool new app that just like appears out of nowhere and completely just changes the industry for the better.
And do you think kids your age or your demographic is more willing to say, oh, here's this new shiny thing. I think I'll start using that just as much as I use TikTok?
It depends. I think first of all, the app needs to have a huge following already. I'm not somebody who's like one of the first people to like try out an app unless I'm like asked or like
Okay.
I hear about it and I think it's cool. But because like TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram have been around for so long, I'm just so used to using them. So unless an app like does a really really good job of like getting a whole lot of people and like being something different than like what we've already seen, I think people will continue to just use the typical apps that they've already been using because they know how they work and they know how to use them to their advantage.
That's a good point. Okay, so back to branding a little bit. You're starting your college hunt. I know you're following a lot of the universities you plan to apply to on Instagram. Do you like everything that a school puts out, or are you picky about the types of things that you like, either from a school or just in general from a brand?
I think with schools, I kind of want to like everything, so then they see my name popping up a whole lot more. But when it comes to a brand, I think I would only like the things that I want to like. But sometimes I'm just scrolling through Instagram and I just like and like and like, and sometimes I end up liking like brand posts, and then like something sponsored comes up, and then I like that, and then all of a sudden like my whole sponsored feed is just so different. So I
Right.
think that schools like everything because then your name gets out there more. But I think with brands, I would like what I want to like, and it doesn't really matter.
And are there any brands out there that you think are really nailing it, that are doing a fantastic job?
Tarte Cosmetics, they have like a really cool Instagram feed. They're my favorite makeup brand like ever, but I just have a really cool Instagram theme. All of their stuff kind of like all flows well with each other, and they do like the same, not really types of posts, but like sometimes they do just like a picture, and sometimes they do like a video where there's like certain pictures popping up all throughout. And then sometimes they like do real videos with someone demonstrating how to use the product, but they also like keep the colors like consistent. And I think like that's what's really cool. And I'm definitely attracted to that Instagram page.
All right, that's a great answer. So, one question for you. I know that there are a lot of younger kids out there that look up to you. You're really involved as a high schooler with the middle school theater program at our school. So, some of these kids probably got iPhones or iPads or Android phones over the holidays. So, what kind of advice would you give either to those kids or to their parents as they're just venturing into social media?
I think you need to be careful about what you post. I know when I first got social media, like I posted 6 pictures in one day, and then you told me you were like, Jenna, that's not what you do. You post once a day. So I think the teens, like, it's important for a teen to learn on their own, but I also think it's good for a parent to be able to guide them a little bit. But also, like, when you give a teen social media, that's one of the first responsibilities you give them. So I think like they need to be able to venture it on their own, but also definitely having a little bit of guidance from the parent who's been doing it for a whole lot longer is definitely beneficial in the end.
That's a great answer. Okay, so one more question. As you venture off, you've got another year and a half with me, and then
Thank
you're
God.
heading and then you're headed off to college. What's the goal? I know you want to go into marketing. What's the dream job? Put it out there. Let's make it happen.
I really want to do social media for Tarte Cosmetics or just like any brand and like live in New York and just be able to do social media for a brand that I really, really love, especially Tarte Cosmetics. So yeah,
And you'll let me come visit, right? And we can go hang out and go shopping.
sure. Yes, totally.
Thanks. Jenna, thank you for sharing this moment with me, my first show. Thank you for not making fun of me, and I appreciate you being here. And I'm guessing you've got some ACT test prep work to finish up. So back to school tomorrow, and I'll let you go. But thank you, thank you, thank
Okay.
you for being part of this.
Bye. Love you.
So there you have it. Words to live by from our next generation of buyers. If you have any questions or you think that you might want to be featured in a future spot, definitely let me know. Again, you can find me on my website. You can also tweet me. And I really appreciate you being here for my first live stream. It's a little scary doing this for the first time, but hey, we pulled it off. So happy 2021. Enter it with a bang. Let's make this a great year, no matter what our future might hold. Let's all just hope for getting our lives back and everybody have a safe, happy, healthy 2021. Thanks, everybody.